candidate for the United States Senate. This forum, this Holladay Cottonwood Republican Club, has the pleasure of having Tim in 2 prior forum debates. Tim ran for United States Congress from the 2nd Congressional District twice. He has a record and a track record of being the highest vote getter at 2 Republican nominating conventions, but not a nomination, rather a primary election came out of those conventions, and then John Swallow defeated Tim in the primary election, and John Swallow then lost to our Mr. Mathis, Jim Mathis. Okay. I say that not only in introduction to Tim Bridgewater, but because in my view, Tim, with his track record, if you are unhappy with the current incumbent, Bob Bennett, for that race, Tim, in my view, has the best chance of getting a nomination at the convention. As a matter of fact, Tim might disagree with me if he plans to do a hard primary election, but I believe if Senator Bennett gets the primary election out of the convention, he will win. If Republicans want a change, then we've got to nominate someone besides Mr. Bennett at that point. It is my pleasure to give Tim Bridgewater 6 minutes and questions and answers afterwards.
Thank you, and thank you for being willing to serve as county and state delegates. It's an honor to be here to give you a little bit of an idea of my schedule since caucus night. I was in Carbon County instead of going to my own precinct, where I was able to speak with the first 23 delegates elected in Carbon County. Within 24 hours, I had been to 5 counties from San Juan, Grand, and Emory, meeting about 60% of the delegates that were selected, and we are going to try and outwork all of the competition to meet every single delegate of the 3,600 delegates that have been selected across this country. I've been around the state twice in all 29 counties meeting with delegates, and I'm honored to have the opportunity to run for the United States Senate. Dick, thanks for that introduction. I don't know if I can believe most of what he said, but I am going to give you a little bit of a background on who I am. Those of you who haven't heard me speak before probably notice I have a bit of a raspy voice. I like to call it a conservative Jack Kemp tax-cutting voice. I've been blessed with it or cursed with it, depending on how you look at it, but I hope it's a voice that can be heard loudly in Washington, D.C., because this country is rising up right now in a revolution, probably like Thomas Jefferson envisioned, to take back our rights and our freedoms that have been lost by government growing too strong, too big, and too powerful. I was born in Salt Lake City. My mom was a single mom. My dad left shortly after he met me. I don't think it was anything I said, but she raised my brother and myself as a single mom until I was 11, and she married my stepfather, who was a diesel mechanic who worked out at Wheeler Machinery down in Salt Lake. And I grew up with the dad going to work with the black lunch pail, and we moved into a trailer that was 12 feet wide by 60 feet long. I graduated, first kid to go to college in my family. I played football at Snow College. I went on to graduate from BYU and go out and work in the Reagan administration. The first 87 to 88, I worked under the Treasury Department in the Reagan administration, and my job was to go to Latin America and collect unpaid debt from countries and from companies. So I cut my teeth there, and then I've been in the private sector for nearly 23 years, building businesses and managing a consulting firm and helping to create jobs. I manage a company today of 60 employees that is in the healthcare industry, and I also helped bring a company to Utah that built 400 jobs manufacturing printed circuit boards out by the airport. So I'm a businessman at my core, and I understand that we are putting our businesses at risk by the way that the government is running the country today. We have to return to a free society. Government has taken away our rights and our freedoms with every turn. Today, we are living under another $1 trillion of debt to have a mandated health care system that is wrong for America. All agree? we have a country that is trying to rob Peter to pay Paul, and it has the absolute support of Paul. Peter is going to run out of money. We are $14 trillion in debt. If we do not get spending under control in this country as the single most important priority, the country that we pass on to our grandchildren and generations to come is going to be bankrupt, and it's not acceptable to me. I am standing up, as many others are across this country, to try and run for office and try and make a change. One person alone can't do it, but a nation can. Cornhusker kickback in Nebraska. The voters of Nebraska said, Ben Nelson, do not take that bribe for your vote. They said, give it back, and that's what happened. That's what America has to do. We have to rise up as a nation and say, enough is enough. We start in Utah by retiring gracefully Senator Bennett. He's not a bad man. We need to move to a new generation of leadership, and we send a message to the country like Massachusetts, like New Jersey, like Virginia, and like states all across this country are going to do in the fall, that we need to stop the outrageous, out-of-control spending. It's the first and most important thing on my agenda if you elect me as your next senator. My background as a businessman is to come up with solutions. I've been doing that for over 20 years. Businessmen do not give you 2,700-page bills. We have to come up with real solutions. If you do not have a real solution in the marketplace that works, you fail in business. And that's why I think we need to send more business people back to Washington, D.C. and turn this place around. We need 51 small businessmen in the Senate. We need to... Well, I usually introduce myself by saying I'm not a lawyer, and people cheer, but that's no, there's some good people in this race, and there's a role. Mike Lee's a lawyer, he's a good guy. Merrill Cook's a former congressman, he's a good guy. Cheryl Eager's in the race. We all care about our country. We're all patriots. We're all good people. We want to make a difference. I just think my experience in this race, I've worked in agribusiness, high-tech industries, I'm working in the energy sector right now, in healthcare industries. I have a broad enough experience to understand the impact of the policy that the people in Washington are making on destroying private enterprise and the entrepreneurial capitalism that has made this country great. That's the core of who I am. Over the next couple of months, you're going to hear good things and bad things about all the candidates. Already I heard Senator Bennett thinks I'm a threat because he sent out a letter. 10 seconds, okay. He sent out a letter, so I think he's a little nervous. That's not a bad thing. If Senator Bennett can kick, fight, and scratch and get reelected, he will have to earn it. I hope to earn your vote. Thanks so much.